God damn it, every time I start liking Merle again, she becomes a pest. Also, wear some goddamn underwear. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Visions of Escaflowne. We don't have any comments today, but we do have a board. And of course, linked with every episode will be a link to the board where you can see it in a much clearer format than what's going on here. The board also has the board changelog, so I can audibly tell you what's different. One that I forgot to do for a while now, my bad, was I connected Balgus to Alan, because Alan says he was trained by Balgus, so there we go. I rearranged Alan and his crew into a single line, because as I said, I was going to run out of lines. Alan was fucking connected to everybody, so now he's connected to all those people with one line. I added Ares Eston. I changed the green line connecting Malernia to Alan to purple to represent the love thing that's going on there. Love thing. Sorry, I was just thinking that I had described it before as essentially the Ranka Lee, Cheryl Name, Alto relationship from across Frontier. Apparently, I also forgot to make the note that I connected Ares Astan to Malernia and the King with a blue line because they're all family. Also, apparently, I forgot to connect Maydeen Fossa to his son, unnamed Fossa, and the white line connecting them to Malerna with the what do you call it? Oh no, the brain. The brain is going. What do you call it? Arranged marriage. With the arranged marriage. While I'm here, boom. As I just said, forgot to put it on the board. Because obviously the dad is related to his son. So yeah, that is the changes to the board. Of course, I do have a few notes regarding last episode. The card of the episode, La Carroza, or The Chariot. Very confusing when the art is two lions with a man holding a sword behind him, literally lacking the thing the card is named for. I almost suspect you just aren't supposed to know what these cards are, and they are meant to be mysterious. During the first part of the episode, I went on about a guy that has piercings in his eyes. I legit think the guy was blind. His irises were gray, which is a typical way in media to depict someone being blind. He also never changed what direction he was looking in. That said, despite being on the bad guy side, being a high-level mercenary piloting a Gaimelelf while blind, that deserves his own episode. Because that's next level, man. I know Van beat him, but Van is one of the protagonists. I want to know more about what this guy has gone through. And I guess specifically how you get piercings through your eyes without popping them out. I don't even popping them out, I mean like popping them. That's what eyeballs, man. Ugh. I imagine the real point of the arena battle, beyond the king's desire to fulfill his promise to Zybok, was to show us, the audience, Van's skill outside of the episodes where it's necessary for him to lose to further the plot. We needed him to lose in Finalia to show how bad the threat was. We needed him to lose to Alan to show that Alan is better or to be respected at the same level. Now we need to express that Van isn't actually bad at this. So when we fight again in the future, we won't be expecting him to lose. When they are having a dinner celebration, it's not only crazy that they gave the Escaflowne a seat at the table, it's crazy that they had a seat that would fit it in the first place. Is there someone in this world that refuses to get out of their Gaimelelf and demanded to be served in it? And to be gracious hosts, they made a seat for a Gaimelf at their dinner table? It's interesting Malerna says that she can't even remember the last time she's seen Madine's son, given what I said about her memory last episode. I understand that what she's saying is just a turn of phrase, and that she likely can remember. It's just like hearing Sherlock Holmes say he can't remember something. Even if he's being flippant, you take notice. Side note about the whole thing, though, Madine's son owns a ship that he's always on. I expect that will come up later on. General Adelphos is clearly someone Delando either respects or fears. Additionally, Dornkirk wants freed, wherever that is, but they mention that Adelphos is on their way to Asturia. Fulkin says that they will need to use Asturia's harbor as a staging ground, implying that either Freed is a nearby country or is across the ocean somewhere. It does raise an interesting question to Zybok's logistics. If they have all these flying fortresses, then why the need to rely on sea travel? What needs to be carried by boat that can't be lifted into the sky? Venelia had 4 generals as well. This is more of a point towards General Adelphos. I think, what's his name? Fulkin says something about the 4 great generals on their way here. Venelia had 4 generals. It's an interesting mirror that Zybok also has 4 generals. Additionally, something called a power spot. I'm writing that down for the notes for future reference. So Alan is replacing Marlene with Malerna. Who is Marlene? Dead ex-lover, I would assume. Either way, Alan says he'll never fall in love again. The opening and ending of the show seem to disagree. I have to think the way Merle fell to the floor when Hitomi knocked her out of the bed is meant to imply to us how cat-like Merle really is, that she'll land on her feet by default. I prefer that the king... Sorry, I don't mean prefer. I appreciate that the king is being portrayed as self-interested and not simply evil, or fully on Zybok's side. He's clearly only doing what he perceives as best for him or his country. And that's all. It might not be the best thing to do, or even the good thing to do. But you can at least figure out why he does some things and not others based on that premise. My last note here. I have to say, I think my artist may have chosen wrong. They chose Delandu they thought that Delandu had the personality closest to mine. And the crazier this guy gets, the less likely that seems. Now granted, in Gurren Lagann, Viral was my guy, and he goes through something like this too. But then he goes through a couple of his own character arcs to become something more. So I can only hope Delandu goes through the same. Because otherwise, I think Fulkin would more be like my guy. But then again, I don't know what Fulkin becomes by the end. By the end, Delandu could be my guy. So, kind of just have to roll into it and hope that's the way it rolls. Other than that, though, I think those are all my thoughts going forwards, the board, everything. So, let's go ahead and roll on in and see what happens next.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
If I recall correctly, this show's opening has the same problem that Full Metal Alchemist had, which is to say that the opening and ending, for some reason, are like 25 decibels louder than the show itself is. I remember that was a thing back when I was first doing the editing on Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Is that I would have to cut it out very specifically and like lower it by oddly lowering a sound and raising a sound don't have the same effect. I don't know if it's just me, but when I'm lowering the volume of a thing, I have to lower it by like 40% if the opposite end was only like 20%. I don't know. Anyway, thing I didn't mention before was the fact that I was about to say alto, is that Vaughn, Hitomi, and Merle have literally just flown off and abandoned Alan to the defense of the city. Because literally Alan stands in front of Delando, who is literally burning everything down. By the way, in case you had any doubts as to who's responsible for burning Fenelia to the ground, pyromaniac that Delando seems to have turned into.
あれは夢？それとも幻？パラスの城の屋上で抱き合う二人の影。私の知らないアレンさんを見てしまったその夜、あいつと共にパラスから飛び立つ。
Saw another side of him.
さようならアレンさん。でも私は
Temperanza? Once again, they're Italian. And the pictures aren't representative of what's going on the screen. On screen. Aren't representative of what the card means.
天野先輩？
By the way, that's a pager for you kids today that might not know what you're looking at. Alan, as a stand-in for Amino, is getting paged. Essentially, that means you call the phone number, and a device another person would be wearing would get a alert to it. Sometimes you can even send a text to it.
戦も騎士の使命も全ては君に会うために。
アレンさん。
I want to remind you, Hitomi, that Vaughn is the one that saved you.
お待ちになって。
おお、ミラーナ。
This isn't even consistent to what you're thinking.
アレンさん。
Why would you think he was, like, abandoning everything to be with you? To then go to her like that. To be Vaughn as an angel? Yeah. That's right, I forgot that was on the next time on. Because it follows through the confusing segment of why Falcon has angel wing.
やだ、寝ちゃった。
疲れたんだろ。眠ってていいぞ。
大丈夫。
アレンさん、助けて。だってあんたまだ起きれてないの？
私、なんか言った？
たくのんきなもんね。命からがら逃げてきたっていうのに。おまけにあんたはメイデンに売り飛ばされるところだったのよ。
わかってるわよ。
How did you find that part out? Did the lizard guys say that?
ほら、本当は生の方が美味しいんだけどね。
I don't know how Merle would know that information.
あ、これも結構いける。
あ、それ私のお菓子。
他のはどうかな？
Oh god damn it, we've been robbed again.
私の時計。あんたいつの間に。
これはどうかな？
それはポケベル。食べられないの。降りてきなさいよ、この泥棒猫。もう、このバカ猫。
God damn it, every time I start liking Merle again, she becomes a pest. Also, wear some goddamn underwear.
Ne, バン？これ似てると思わない？
どこで手に入れたんだその石。
I mean, if that's true,
そう
that means you probably have a connection to
今はおばあちゃんの
Ipano?
形見になっちゃったけど
But also, wouldn't that mean you could do something with that gem like you
お
do
父
with
さんとお母
yours?
さんそれに弟がいる
Ooh, that's something we didn't know before. Little brother.
でもね弟とは喧嘩ばっかりあいつったらいつも一言多いのよけど叱られる
You
のは
haven't even
私ばっか
pictured him in your
お
mind
姉さん
before.
でしょ瞳もう高校生でしょ瞳女の子でしょだもんね嫌になっちゃうお父さんはいつも笑って聞いてるだけだもんな
I haven't seen anything about your dad
どうしてる
either.
かな
I have your mother on the board. That's it.
お父さん母さん
俺の父上も母上も俺が小さい頃に死んだ。ファネリアが焼け、バルガスが死んだ今、俺が家族と呼べるのはあい
I
つ
still
くらい
can't
のもん
believe
だ。
that Balgus is supposed to be such an amazing swordman, and he went down
確
immediately.
かお兄さんって
兄などではない。奴はフォルケンは裏切り者だ。10年前、奴は王になるための儀式、竜との戦いに臆してそのまま逃げた。
He died. You know that he
ザイバッハ
died
に身を投じていたなど。
and was raised.
奴は俺を殺そうとさえした。すまん
Did he?
つい。
ううん私こそ
I don't really remember Fulton trying to kill you unless you're blaming him for what Delando did.
俺は今度のことで自分の未熟さを思い知った。剣の腕を磨く。すべてはそれからだ。お前はどうするんだ？
どうするってもうアレンさんの国へは戻れないし
俺はザイバッハの連中に追われる身だが。
I think technically, if you went back to Alan's country, you probably would escape them.
お前の力を借りて
Specifically, they wouldn't look for you in the place that they already thought you had escaped from. Who circles back?
お前
That'd be
を
insane.
あそこへ返す方法もな。
I'm assuming this is Fried? Fred? No, this is Asturia. Asturia has the canals. This is the 4 generals arriving. Well, I said before, if you have all these flying fortresses, what do you need the port for?
国攻めの準備か。
お父様訳をお聞かせくださいなぜアレンを牢獄に
あの青二歳は何をしでかすかわからん。しばらくはおとなしくしていてもらおう。
アレンが何をするというのです
あやつはエスカフローネの逃亡に手を貸しただけでなく、
Did he though?
歯向かう気なのだ。
I mean, he defended your city.
お父様の方こそどうかしてますあんな艦隊を国へ入れるなんてこれでは同盟国というよりザイバッハの言いなりではないですか
It's true.
とて許しはしなかったさ。マレーネがあの子がもし生きておったらな。
マレーネお姉様がまさかザイバッハはフレイド公国を攻め落とす気なのですね
他言無用だ。お前も
I mean, the whole lackey thing isn't a negative, though. Sometimes you gotta bend the knee to a stronger opponent, otherwise your people are gonna be the ones to suffer. Something we brought up plenty in Gundam Seed Destiny. Position of Orb to, the Earth Federation. Oh yeah, that would be a way to get to the Dragonheart stuff. Any dead dragon would leave one behind, right?
わかってるのよ、そんなこと。現場のことなんかこれっぽっちも考えちゃいないんだから。ただの竜か。
Nope.
竜の
The Escaflowne.
あんたの占い大外れじゃない。こんな危ないとこ連れてきて。
いい方角占ったはずなのにどうして？
いや、お前の占い大当たりかもしれん。着陸するぞ。
Can you superpower the Escaflowne by throwing more dragon hearts into it? Also, again, the other guy saying, oh, just a dragon, whereas that was Van's whole
いらないめ。
starting right,
いけません。
goes to show
こんなところへ来られては
the difference in power levels.
お父様に許可はもらいましたわ。
そのようなことは聞いておりません。大丈夫ですか？ダメ。しっかりしてください。
骨が折れちゃったかも。ちょっと見てくださいません。こと。
大将、ガですか？
さあ、早く。
よし。
I mean, that was fucking obvious.
竜の墓場って？
That dude deserved what he got.
死ぬ時にやってくるところ。
で、なんで掘ってんの？
竜の化石からエナジストを取り出してんのよ。
ガイメレフが6機か。
で、エナジストを掘り出してどうするの？
そりゃ。
ガイメレフの動力として使うんだ。
そうよそれ。
バン、エナジストって。
Classic character that doesn't know, waiting for somebody to say something that does.
エスカフローネもエナジストで動いてる。正確に言うとドラグエナジストって言うんだけどな。
ドラグエナジスト。
I mean, we covered this in episode 1.
ガイメレフや浮き船を動かしている。
2. Actually, we covered it in episode 2.
こうして竜の墓場からエナジストを掘り出す。戦ではより多くのエナジストを持った者が勝つ。二人はここで隠れてろ。
バン。
ザイバッハの好きにはさせん。
I actually thought we'd be heading to Freed this episode,
グレイド広告を。
ええ、お父様はシド王子を。
so I thought that's where the fight was going to be happening.
今それを防ぐことができるのはあなただけ。どこまでもお供しますわ。
Okay, this is where she becomes one of the members of the group, I guess.
奴らも気づくぜ。
来た来た。
隊長、着きましたぜ。
お姉様、ミラーナ、お父様には黙っていてあげます。私と一緒に城へ
Man,
お戻
Mole
り
Man
な
just
さい。
sells everyone
もう
out.
決めたんです。お姉様、私は戻りません。アレンと行きます。私はこの国を出ていくわ。アレン、ちょっと、アレン、下ろしなさい。私は帰らない。あなたと一緒に行くのよ。アレン、私は。
I mean, this makes more sense, despite what I said before about her becoming a core member of the group. This makes more sense for her.
ミラーナ姫、お元気で。
And I feel like I have to address this. As everybody knows, I record these live on Fridays, 11 a.m. That's why I'm saying that Phil Fisher is in the chat, who's saying, well, he's a mole. A mole would be somebody who's an implant from the other side. He sells everyone out. I don't know what you would call somebody like that. Sorry, you would call them a sellout. It's literally the term.
アレン、私、絶対に諦めないわ。
I legit don't know what you can do about this, though.
バタバタしてんじゃないのよ。また竜。じゃない。
I guess to be fair, you wouldn't be much concerned about dragons here, because this is where dragons come to die. I mean, this is Zybok,
エナジストの貯蔵庫。
so why aren't they using the same Zybok guy mills?
エスカフローネってこいつね。
大丈夫かしら。
I don't know. I just feel like they're more challenged by the Zybok. By the Zybok guy. No, sorry, I was thrown by the scene. I guess that makes Hatome the tail that gets sacrificed. Because I just mean these are using like crappy swords. Because when I say Zybok, I mean the ones that have like the pole things that come out of their hands and whatnot. Oh, I thought he was about to rip his shirt off or something. Ugh. Elbow to the face.
お嬢ちゃんに友達を紹介するわ。ニーナちゃんよ。噛まれたら即あの世行き。でも大丈夫。私の言うことだけはよく聞くの。さあニーナ、ご挨拶してきなさい。
Well then.
何をする気だ。人目は関係ない。
Okay, it didn't go under. That's what I thought it was doing. Oh, that's right. Merle still has it. But why would it be going off? Somebody on Earth calling her? That's fucking lucky. No way Vaughn planned for that. Oh, fucking Nina. Nina was just an animal. Wow, really? I mean, I know it's real for that to happen. It's just not how I expected that guy was going to go out, bashing his head on a rock. I mean, legit, I'd be checking the pager. Who the fuck is paging me on Gaia? Is this what they were referring to when they said power spot? I don't think that's probably it. Sorry, I anticipated the other guy was going to rip his shirt off. 5 minutes later, Vaughn rips his own shirt off. And you know, no wonder he was never afraid of falling off the Escaflowne. Better answer it before the battery runs out. Or not answer it. You can't answer a pager. I like it. I like that we're coming back to this.
天野先輩
Also, you can't answer it because no texting back with a pager. I don't think there's anything you can do to let Amano know. I think, despite whatever the craziness is of Vaughn being part angel, and the thing that comes to my mind is that, Vaughn could not fly with angel's wings unless he had bones like a bird, right? So, which would mean that any fight that he's getting in, he's at super risk of breaking every bone in his body. No, the element I like most is that we paid off the pager that we introduced early on. And I like that we went back to express that those characters back on Earth are actually still around and doing stuff. Like not doing anything important to the story, obviously, because they're still on Earth, but they're not just people we're forgetting about. But also the element of how the fuck is that going to enter into this whole love triangle thing? Like, how is Amino going to be able to compete against two guys who are actively in her life right now? Alright, I'm guessing next episode we're going to get something about Freed's invasion.
Escaflowne.
私は好きだよバーンの翼
このまま潰してやろうかこれは運命の手
Okay. Not the invasion of Freed. I guess just more Delandu trailing behind them. I guess the attack that they had on the Dragon Graveyard, probably there were survivors there, right? So they could alert anybody in the Empire about the presence of the Escaflowne, and then, of course, Delandu is the one to chase them, so... But yeah. Also a weird person at the end. I'm assuming that maybe Vaughn and Fulkin and whatever their bloodline was were only part angels, because that person looked different somehow. So maybe angels look different? No, except in the opening credits, there's angels that just look like normal people. I don't know. Maybe there's going to be an element leading back to Vaughn's mother and father, because, again, dead, haven't seen them, don't know what they're like. Maybe there's going to be an element of that. That connection to whatever angels are here and to his mom and dad. Because clearly, whatever applies to him applies to Fulkin. Other than that, though, I guess we didn't really do much with the whole Energist thing. I thought they were going to, get a ton of it and, superpower the Escaflowne, but it turns out, I guess, Escaflowne's presence near existing Energist supercharges it, and then when a bunch of supercharged Energists is together, it becomes an explosive risk. Because otherwise, if it was just by itself, right, anytime the Escaflowne was just near the ground, the Escaflowne couldn't go past a Dragon Graveyard, otherwise the ground would just explode. Because all of the fossilized Energist would just explode on its own, right? So, clearly, it has to be an effect of one thing affecting another, and just having to figure out what those things are. What else? Obviously, Alan and gang are on their way, or somewhere behind, or whatever, because I don't know if they know where the Escaflowne is going, but I think that they are heading to Freed because of the information that they figured out. Apparently, Marlena, I guess, must have had some sort of relation to Freed. I think I missed that, so that's going to have to be pick up from the notes next time. I'm uncertain. but he put it together almost immediately that if Marlena were here, I wouldn't have let this happen or something like that. And then he's like, Marlena, Freed's under attack. So yeah, there's that. I think that's essentially it for my off the cuff notes. Because again, either I said it in the episode, hasn't occurred to me here at the very end, or will have come up next time when I do the notes and we see what we get. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for this episode. So once again, I've been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?